All right, so we're back. So we're still talking about messaging, and we're still talking. And again, messaging is sales copy, and messaging is sales copy. When I'm talking about messaging, I'm talking about sales copy and hiring a copywriter to write your sales copy. Again, my name is Tyron Spear. I'm in e-commerce. Done about $2.4 million, maybe a little bit more, and was in the Marine Corps, Blackwater Security Group. And then started off in Amazon, and then went from Amazon into Shopify. So messaging. And again, in the last video, I was talking about how I spent $350 on messaging, but I did a lot of the groundwork, read books like Scientific Advertising, Cashvertising, and Ogilvy on advertising. And so I was able to supply the copywriter. This was actually the same copywriter that I had worked with on my Amazon listing. So if I get with somebody and work with them, I like to stay with that person because, one, I know now that they understand the market that I'm in, they understand the niche that I'm in, and we work together, so we built up some sort of relationship. Relationships are huge in business. I don't want to keep going down rabbit holes. I got a lot of a lot of information up here that I'm gonna just be downloading into these videos and publishing them on YouTube. So anyway, excuse me for touching the mic. So anyway, $350 on $350 on copy. $350 on copy, doing a lot of the groundwork, reading through Amazon reviews, understanding, getting the language that people are using to describe their problems, and also to describe being happy about using this product. And then here were the benefits that they've had from using it. Okay, so market research is what I was basically just talking about in the last video. Understanding the pain, understanding the problem. So let's just say I'm gonna go through a scenario. So let's just say your dog had, and I know nothing about the dog niche. I don't sell things in dog, so I know nothing about the dog niche. So let's just say that your dog, I'm trying to think about things where it's like traumatic, because again, but if the dog breaks a leg or something like that, and you see the dog limping around and so on and so forth, and you discover that your dog is unable to get into the kennel for whatever the reason is. Your dog is unable to get into his pen, or whatever the situation may be, or better yet, when they wrap a dog's leg, like whatever that material is that they're using to wrap the dog's leg up with, or whatever the thing is that they're using to kind of cast the dog's leg, maybe there's like some sort of default, maybe there's some sort of fault, there's some sort of defect is the word I was looking for. There's some sort of defect with the casting that they use to put on a dog's leg. You may look at that, and because of your background or whatever, you may understand that, well, they're using this material and that's stupid, yada, yada, yada. And you start doing some research, and you start seeing other people on Amazon and other places complaining about the fact that their dog's leg is in a cast, but he's unable to get into his pen, or he's unable to do this, or he should be able to do that, and so on and so forth. And you sit down and talk to an expert and understand why they're using this versus using something that you understand works well, because you were a military medic, and you understand that there's other things that work in a kinesthetic fashion where they can still have some movement, but not so much movement to where the bone or the joint or whatever, or the bone won't heal right because the dog broke his leg. Once you've done all of those things, and you found a supplier, I talked to you about how to find a supplier, you're not ready to go to market, but you're very close. So now that you've done all those things, now you can begin to start showing these like A/B examples. Like, is your dog walking around like this because he broke his leg? Your dog could be walking around like this. I just came up with this idea, but this idea could be huge, because not only could you sell this to consumers or individuals, people like me and you, but you could also sell this to veterinarians across the nation as well. So now market research. So that would be the one thing. One, you're going out actually talking to doctors, seeing what's going on there, talking to other pet owners, seeing if they've had the same experience. So that's just kind of sort of face-to-face analog. And then digital, going on Amazon, Walmart, or PetSmart. I believe PetSmart is like a big pet platform, but I'm sure Amazon has a huge animal section on there too. Again, I don't own pets, so nor do I shop for pets. So Amazon probably has a huge section on there. And again, you can start reading through the reviews, and you can start creating buckets for your research. And then again, I talked about this earlier in another video with research, whereas you want to look and see if these products have at least 1,000 reviews on them, because now you have what they call statistically significant data, right? And if it's not statistically significant, then it's just what they call, or what people call, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now. You have what they call anecdotal data. So if it's less than 1,000, it's pretty much anecdotal data. So meaning that maybe it's not a huge problem inside the marketplace. Maybe it's just a problem that a few people have. But if you can at least find 1,000 people that's saying it, then that's what we can say that this is statistically significant. And that's huge because they know you have an idea of what it's going to look like at scale. So that's why that's important versus just anecdotal data. So find products that have over 1,000 reviews on them. And if you first find one product that has 5,000 reviews and there's nobody else that's selling it, and I talked about this before on Amazon, if the BSR, which is the bestseller rank, is very low, meaning that it's at like 50 or 100 or 200 or 500, even 1,000, then they're selling a lot of units a day. And you can also use something like Camel to also see, to also look and see how much money they're making a day. All right. So now you have some statistically significant data to start pulling this market research from. Next, you can start looking at people's emotional state, and that's really about, I was happy, I was excited, this is marvelous. People are using emotional words. If you don't know a lot of emotional words, go look them up. And then you want to look for people that are happy, and so those would be the 5-star reviews. And maybe people that are complaining, those probably be the 1-star reviews. And just kind of look at what these people are saying, and then just start taking notes of how they're describing the problem. People tell stories, and other people like what it is that they're saying, and they're like, yeah, that's how I felt. Going to forums and different things. Reddit is great for this as well. So you can go to Reddit, and you can also look in Reddit. But you want to be looking at all of these different platforms. If you plan on advertising on Facebook, go to Facebook groups. And if you plan on advertising on YouTube, find YouTube channels. But go to these different platforms and keep seeing now what you're starting to look for. Now that you're starting to gather this data and put it into these pockets, how they're describing their problems, how they're describing how the solution helped them or benefited them, and then what words they're using. Now that you put all these things in a bucket, now you can say, this is what they're saying on Facebook. This is what they're saying on YouTube. This is what they're saying on Reddit. This is what they're saying on PetSmart. This is what they're saying on Amazon. Whatever that. Once you start putting these things in buckets, you begin to start seeing trends, and you begin to start seeing people say the same things over and over and over again. Now you have the makings for some great research. In order for your copywriter, whether you're paying them $350 or $4,000 or $1,000 or whatever, you've now done a lot of groundwork for them, and now you can hand this market research over to them. And it also helps you to know that, hey, this product is selling on different platforms. Folks are talking about it on Instagram, folks are talking about it on Twitter, folks are talking about it on YouTube, folks are talking about it on Facebook. That's good, because if you're trying to solve a problem, and you'll hear people say this, and there's nothing wrong with that. I had this great idea. I can't tell you about it because I don't want you to steal it. Well, great. Okay, well, don't tell me about it. You don't want me to steal it, but I don't know if it's actually going to make money. Do what I just told you to do. Go ahead and see if people are talking about the problem because you got the solution. You're telling me that you have this great idea. It's obviously the solution to a problem. So go find that problem in the marketplace and go see where people are screaming at it at. If you can't find that, then again, how can we get that statistically significant data? How can we get 1,000 people to say, yeah, raise their hand and say, yeah, I have that problem? If nobody's talking about that problem anywhere on any platform, then you may want to shop that great idea to somebody else, because I'm not going to say nobody can help you with that, but nobody that I know can help you with that idea. Maybe you can bundle it up with something else that's already out of the market and improve upon something that already exists. But from you to go from zero to something with something that nobody is complaining about, and we can't find people. Remember what I told you, a market is nothing more than people. So I'm a market. I'm probably seven to 10 different markets. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving around in the car. I'm in that market. I'm spending money on gas. I'm in that market. I'm wearing t-shirts. I'm in the fashion market. I'm wearing glasses. I'm in the glass market. You see what I'm saying? So, if we can't find people that have problems, obviously I got sight problems. Obviously I don't like walking around naked. Obviously I like driving around in a decent car. Obviously I know my car needs gas and my car needs oil. All these other different things that my car needs, right? Car needs to be washed, yada, yada, yada. So all of these different things, I'm in several different markets. So you may want to if we can't find your market, hold on one second. I am driving. All right. So if we can't locate the people, if we can't find your market, then you're going to be spending a lot of money. That's going to be so if you load it and you want to create a market, then that's a whole nother situation. And I think I'm gonna shoot another video right after this talking about that. So again, drop your questions down. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and we'll talk about it. All right, peace.